Welcome. We're back with another live commentary. Well, not live, just a commentary. This time, we're doing 11 Priory of the Sacred Flame, or Priory, however you want to say it. I don't know. There's a big uproar about which one it is. I mean, who knows? This is one of the harder dungeons this season for me. The ads are goddamn insane, man. The cast they put out, woo! Your butt cheeks are clenched the entire time. So, starting off this pull, again, a lot of threat on the first one, and then jump right into this night pack. Here, I would just pop up Brand, and then Fell Devastation, just to gain threat, and also be tanky as hell. I will pull in this next pack after a bit of a delay, and then use chains to grip them all in. Make sure on this pack that you CC in the footman, because they use defend, and if that goes off, it will end up reducing the damage to F1 around them. Be also worried about the knight. The two main abilities that you want to be worried about with the knight is Disrupting Shout, which is basically the same ability as the people on Siege of Bralis. So if you're a caster, stop your cast, otherwise you'll get silenced. And also Impale. That's another move you need to be worried about. It can kind of overlap with the sharpshooters. The sharpshooters are quite frustrating, so try and pull maybe 1, 2 at a time, but ideally just 1. Here, most of the time in here though, because it's an 11, it's not like too insane. And we have a lot of CCs as well, so like we were able to interrupt them quite a bit. So going into this next pack with the sharpshooters, we're just basically waiting to get our cooldowns back before we pull in the boss. We avoided the pack on the right because obviously they're pretty dangerous. We don't really want to pull them. And with our route, we don't really need it for percent. Kicking off this boss, immediately I will use Fell Devastation to gain threat, taunt it, and then walk behind it. This is because straight away you'd shield slam, and you do not want to get knocked into that night pack. Otherwise, it will most likely be a wipe. With this Suleiman mini boss, you mostly want to tank it against the wall. Here, I'm just trying to make sure I'm still in range of the sharpshooters so we can cleave them down. But I am got my back against either the stairs or the wall, so I do not get knocked into any sort of packs. When it does get a bit low, I do try and pull this next pack, but for some reason, my sigil of flame was not going off, and I ended up taking a bunch of back shots. Pause. Not in that way. So yeah, I ended up pausing a little bit and getting my health back up before pulling that pack. You do need to be careful about these footmen, because once they do die, they do explode. A bit like the bags from Necrotic Wake. They don't leave a dot or anything, but they do a decent amount of damage if you kill multiple of them at the same time. So in this dungeon, you basically want to chain pull pretty much all the time. It kind of sucks for the rogue. I mean, I probably feel for him because I was this chain pulling constantly, so he couldn't stealth. So yeah, RIP to him. I think he was a subtlety rogue anyway, so I don't think it was a massive deal. But yeah, with this pack, with this mini boss, she basically lunges at a player, which you'll see here. And make sure you're not Groot, because that will happen. And I'm pretty sure that lunging strike leaves a nasty bleed on you for quite a while. I'm not too sure if the healer can dispel it, so just make sure the person that it's leaping to is away from everyone. Like, look at there, the paladin went on the paladin and he moved away from the group, so no one else got it on him. Other than that, like this mob or mini boss isn't really too deadly. Just make sure you use rotations, your cooldowns, fiery brand. Make sure you have Thrill of Fright always up. I'm constantly trying to get to 20 stacks of my throwing glaive in order to change it to a Reaver's glaive, so I can throw it, use Rending Strike and Glaive Flurry in order to do as much damage as possible. Going up these stairs, I ping, just to make sure these guys don't pull the patrolling pack. I then ping which ways I'm going, and hopefully they will follow suit. Going around about now is perfect. And yeah, that's how you skip that pack. Nice and easy. No, you don't need to use Shroud or anything like that. I kind of mess up pulling this pack. I accidentally double jump, so I have to leap away. Otherwise, if these hit me, it would have just completely messed me up. So one thing I am really cautious of here, the reason why I'm pulling it so tight to the stairs, is because of this patrolling pack. This whole time, my cheeks were clenched because this paladin was aiming directly behind him, aiming towards that pack. So them hammers were almost hitting that pack, and if that pack would have pulled, it would have been GG, 100%. We clean up this pack pretty nice, and I do jump into this pack. I think I kind of make a mistake doing this though. We should have killed the light spawn before doing this. Having no chains up, I won't be able to grip them out the blinding light that he puts down once he gets down to 25% health. So yeah, I'm kind of like trolling pulling this, and I pretty much almost die to pulling it. So as you see here, I think they end up being slowed the pack, so the priest, the knight, and the footman and the sharpshooters all end up getting healed back up to full. So it kind of probably put maybe an additional 15 to 20 seconds, all because I couldn't, I didn't wait. So, you know, just little stuff like this that you need to be cautious of, especially these high keys, because every second counts. Making sure that you can grip all these sharpshooters together so you can cleave them down as a team. They're kind of annoying though, because they do jump to random targets throughout the fight. So it's good, even as a range player, just to stay like close to melee in order so we can cleave everyone down as a team. The knight is pretty scary, so disrupting shout is going out here. Luckily, it doesn't really do too much damage that time. Here, I'm thinking about the next pack. I've got my flame up. We did end up losing a DPS, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so we lost the DPS there. Like I say, the thing is with these two sharpshooters, like sometimes both cast, so like cast of a pot shot and shoot can go on a player, and it will just at this key level, it'll just like pretty much one bang you if you don't have a defensive up. So here I'm just waiting for my DPS to get back. I can see him on the minimap slowly coming up the stairs. So here I find a good time to type, telling my team to interrupt that cast at the top. Straight away when you pull him, the lady casts the Holy Smite. So I kind of just want to get rid of that straight away. I'm kind of trolling here as well. I put my back to the mobs and don't fiery brand. But yeah, we still end up getting a pretty nice group up. And I don't die, thankfully. Immediately, I'm getting my Rending Strike so I can get my Reaver's Mark on this. So I have 2 stacks of Reaver Marks. That means I'm doing 14% more damage to that specific mob. Pacific, man, that's a goddamn ocean. I kind of burnt the roof of my mouth eating some scrambled egg on toast, so my speech at the moment feels like I've got a bit of a stutter or a slur, sorry. It's like, it feels weird. My mouth is inflamed, but obviously you guys don't want to know that stuff. I don't know why I'm telling you. So at this point, good thing to know is, actually I want to go back there and talk about that because it's actually quite important. So once this light spawn gets to 25% health, it will cast Blinding Light. So anything in that area, that radius of area, you want to get it out of it. So here, she casts Reflective Shield. I know immediately she's going to cast Holy Smite, and I delay it as much as possible to get it at the last second, so I know he's going to get to 20% health and cast Blinding Light, and I can get Emia outside so she doesn't heal all the way back to full. So I end up going over percent in this dungeon. There's one pack that I don't need, and that's basically the 3 mobs next to the boss, the first boss. So instead, you can pull this pack on the left with the mini boss that's coming in. I completely forget that he's ranged, so I go in, and thankfully the hunter kicks it as soon as I jump in, which is, I mean, works out really great because I can just jump over to the next set of mobs, group them all together. I'm kind of like delaying using my chains here because I'm like, do I want to pull? I'm thinking about, do I chain pull these other mobs in? But I don't think I end up doing it in the end. I end up just using silence, focusing these mobs down, and yeah, we're basically being chilling. Just make sure you always interrupt the fireballs, because the fireballs, if 2 of them hit one person, it will kill him. With the priest, the great heal, that is a priority kick. Otherwise, it would just, I think it heals the entire group, not just a single target. So it's almost as bad as blinding light. I think actually here, going into the next pull, the priest immediately classed greater heal, which I didn't know it did. So I had nothing really to interrupt it. Well, I did. I think I had imprison and maybe misery, but I didn't use it. So yeah, these mobs end up getting a heal, which is again like an additional 20 seconds. Yeah, I had chains and I'm just like not using it. Yeah, I'm literally trolling at this point, but it's fine. It's fine. We keep pushing forward. Don't worry. Like there, I should be using Chaos Nova way earlier. It's just a little stuff that you can improve. Like watching it back, I'm clearly going to improve on my gameplay because I'll be more subconscious of this stuff. Somehow the threat ends up completely going off me there. I thought I had really good threat, but turns out the pally can just rip it, even though he's not like doing insane damage, which is kind of crazy there. So yeah, we just clear up this pack and head into the first boss. The first boss is, man, it's actually pretty strong. Piercing armor and Holy Radiance are the two main abilities that you want to be looking out for. Mostly piercing armor on you because it leads a nasty bleed, so you need to stay on top of that. I've got all my cooldowns up. Oh, another good thing to know is, so I'm saving here a Reaver's Mark. This is because I want to get as many stacks of Reaver's Mark onto Dale Cry as much as possible. So there, I throw in Glaive so I can have Rending Strike and Glaive Fury ready to go. Then I'll use the Hunt in order to pull the mob, jump to cancel it, use my Rending Strike into a Glaive Fury, into a Rending Strike, and then quickly stack up as many marks as I can to him. So at the moment I've got 2 marks on him, so that means I'm doing 14% more damage to him. Plus I've got Lust going off. I've got all my main CDs up. I got, you know, Fell Devastation. I'm constantly getting loads of souls from these from the boss, popping Immolation Aura, you know, like immediately the second I get my mark up, I'm throwing it. It's big damage. Spend it as soon as you can on like these single target mobs. So in terms of like rotating my cooldowns, I'm basically just spamming Fiery Brand on CD. Same with Fell Devastation, but I kind of align them with main ones like Piercing Armor here. Like I immediately pop Brand because I knew that was going to big damage, and this is kind of an overlap between Piercing Armor and Holy Radiance, so I put down Darkness to keep my team healthy. Like I say, it was mostly for me because I had no CDs left, but obviously it still helps out the team. So using your Darkness as much as possible. It's an ability that like a lot of people forget about, especially the people in your group, because you put it down and you don't get in it. But I made a macro, so every time I use it, it says Darkness on me. So, and thankfully, my success rate of people getting in it has gone up tremendously. So at this point in the fight, it's getting pretty scary. I've got no CDs left, but I'm also thinking of the next pack, because the next pack is massive. It's 2 paladins which use Divine Toll, which does around 40% damage to my group, and it kind of like staggers between each one. So it does Divine Toll, 40% of the health, wait a couple of seconds, another Divine Toll. So the healer needs to be pretty stacked up, and I need to be able to tank it. So I end up popping here. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm not too sure if they nerfed Demon Hunter this week and reduced the cooldown or increased the cooldown of Demon Spikes, but it seems like I don't have it up a lot as much as I used to. I also kind of troll because when I'm in Fell Devastation, maybe like 2 seconds into it, I should pop Brand in order to make it spread, but I think I trolled a little bit and didn't end up popping it until pretty much I got out my Fell Devastation. So I had no Demon Spikes up, I had no Brand running, and I wasn't in Metamorphosis, so I basically just popped instantly. Here, again, I'm just thinking about the next pack. I'll probably end up using Sigil of Flame here because they are pretty healthy. Or maybe I'll use Fell Devastation. just to keep myself up closer towards... Alright, maybe I don't. Oh yeah, because I have a lot of stacks of frailty on the mobs. I'm not really too worried about them, I guess. So here, I double pull, which is pretty scary now. This pack is super duper scary, but I have all my CDs up. My healer has his CDs up, so we should be fine. Gripping them in with chains and then delaying it a little bit to use silence. This is mainly because you want to get them out that concentration. There we go. You want to get it out of that, mainly because it's a bit of a hassle to keep him in it. Luckily, we get the divine kick there, divine heal or greater heal, sorry. And here, I'm just basically using my stuff on CD. I'm branding as soon as it comes off. There, I have no CDs, so I retreat out. Brand was wearing off. I had no demon spikes, and it was free paladin to hit me. So yeah, that was a best choice to make. Here again, I'm like fully out of CDs. I should have not used the hunt there, or if I was going to use the hunt, jump down the stairs. But thankfully, we survived. Again, our healer was like really good in this dungeon. I trolled. I probably trolled a bit too much. Here, so I'm thinking of having just a little breather one. In reality, I should have gone for the pack on the right because it only has one paladin on it. But I had Fell Devastation up, and I think I was kind of fine in my head because I got chains and stuff. So I don't know. I just feel confident when I have them sort of abilities up. But in reality, I should have just pulled the pack on the right because 2 divine tolls when my healer has no CDs up is kind of again trolling. So you know, but that was me. That is mostly me just having lack of dungeon knowledge because I've only done this. Believe it or not, I've only done this dungeon 5 times. I've done it on a 4, a 6, a 9, and an 11. So the damage difference between all them was huge. I remember on the 6, I pulled this entire thing. We had like 6 paladins. My healer was screaming at me, but we lived. We lived. Was it due to me? Hell no. But we did. Mostly these packs are the hardest packs in the game. Like this whole area leading into the second and last boss are super deadly, so making sure you rotate all your CDs as much as possible. Brand, Fell Devastation, Metamorphosis when you're in like the scarier packs. Like at the moment, I'm not going to use it because obviously it's only one paladin, and we have the boss coming up. So yeah, I'm not too worried about all that stuff. So I'm keeping hold. I'm not keeping hold of my Reaver's Mark here. Oh, fair play. Oh, I'm just trying to kill this paladin as quick as possible, that's why. Because I want to type to my team. So, in the past, I've had people really panic when the soak mechanic comes up. But you have 30 seconds to get it. So, don't worry too much about it. Just make sure you bait the hammers. So, I'm pinging my team to stay stacked, and I'll ping where to stack. Then we'll go to the opposite side of where the hammer spawned. For some reason my stuff kind of popped up there and I was walking backwards, but I was walking forwards. I think it's like a bug with the camera issue when you use your jump. So yeah, it's a bit weird. So here, just delaying it, trying to get as far away as the hammers as possible. The soak comes up, my team thankfully just all immediately getting it. Usually as a healer, I mean as a tank, you can soak maybe like 2 or 3. You could probably soak the whole thing if you're in Metamorphosis. But I don't. So, but a bit later on, you'll see me tanking like 1 or 2 stacks, especially when it comes to the one where it's 5. That happens a bit later in the fight, maybe around 40% health. It's usually like the first 2 are just free, so I'll tank 1 there, and then I'll just leave it for my team. Interrupt blinding light all the time, because if you don't, the boss will just heal. But yeah, in terms of like rotating stuff, he doesn't really have any tank busters to use, so just popping stuff on CD really, like your fiery brand when he's not really casting, because the auto attacks can pretty much hurt. Just get out of it as soon as you can. And yeah, and just baiting, constantly ping yourself. Like I'm constantly pinging myself, letting my team know where to go. So I'm trying to get these to move over there because the hammers are about to come in, but instead they don't. They still tank it there. So I quickly take one stack of it and then bring it over here. This is because the dot does stay on you for 12 seconds. So by the time them hammers end and this swirls come up, I can get another stack with no real problems really. We still had 5 seconds to soak it all up, so like we was bing chilling big time. There's not really anything else to talk about on this boss, so let's just wait until the next area. Got really nothing else to say. I think at this point we end up choosing just to focus the boss, but I took one stack just in case. Like we have 13 seconds to kill the boss. As you can see on the soak bit on the right, we have 8 seconds and boom, we kill it with 5 seconds before the soak actually happens. Like I say, this next pack, I'm always thinking about the next pack. Always. My CDs are the biggest thing on Demon Hunter. Like you need to have really good tracks of when your cooldowns are coming up. Sometimes you just get like a feel of how long a pack's gonna die. You know, it's hard to like determine. Maybe I can try and figure out an example here. Like I use chains here, that goes on a minute cooldown. I know in a minute's time that I'm gonna be up them stairs fighting some mobs that I can end up pulling out the blinding light potentially. So yeah, and even there I can use Fell Devastation. I could probably use my Sigil of Flame, which I do, because I know again in about 20 seconds I'm going to be up the stairs. I'll have it back. Fell Devastation will be up. All this kind of stuff is like going around in your mind, but you should be thinking about pretty much all the time. Immolation Aura, you can pretty much use that on CD. It's such a short cooldown. Maybe shouldn't have used it there because the pack was literally on like 3%, but yeah, with that on, I was kind of trolling. I was spamming my Infernal Strike, but sometimes because the camera's a bit funky, you're actually not on any terrain. Like maybe you're clicking a wall or something like that. So yeah, but it's fine. I just leaped away, used Fell Devastation, and ended up getting chains back up there. See what I mean? Grouped them up nicely. So it was no real problems. I'm kind of trolling with my CCs here. Because my CDs are so low in terms of like Fell Devastation brand and stuff, I'm too worried about keeping my... Sorry, let me just adjust my seat. I'm too worried about keeping myself alive, so I'm not like in my head thinking of like, oh, I need to stop these casts with my interrupts. Like I still have Misery and Chaos Nova up, and I'm just not using it. Even like Sigil of Silence, which ends up coming in real good because you're about to witness the dumbest play in tank history. Did I mean to do it? Hell no. Does it look cool? Not really. We kind of almost threw the key. We? Where's we in this? Me. I almost threw the key. No, look at this pull. Oh no. So at this point I'm thinking, oh shit, I need to use my CCs perfectly here. We pop Lust. My CDs are going out. I've got Metamorphosis going. I use Chains. I use Silence. I'm still waiting on Misery to go off. I'm trying to hoping that my Interrupt comes back up so I can at least get one of these, but sadly there's not enough time, and I probably could have used Imprison. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Imprison, these are humanoids, so you can technically imprison these guys. Luckily we killed all the mages, so the volleys are not as deadly. And I think we ended up getting all the cast for the greater heal, so no one healed back up. But I think I kind of troll here. Well, no, I didn't troll on purpose. The light smith or the light thing ends up casting, and I don't really see it because the camera's kind of bad. I see it here, but I'm too late. I don't have chains up. Like you see, it's coming off in like 2 seconds. Mate, this whole pull was just my bad. I apologize profusely after this. Like I think I'll leave the audio in of me just panicking because I'm like, oh shit, what have I just done? Because it kind of just throws the keys at this point. We're like, we've been playing so well the whole entire dungeon, and then bam, that happens. So again, blinding light goes off there. It heals the mini boss back up to full, basically. I mean, I got the 2 footmen out of it, so we don't have to deal with them anymore. But this dude was tearing me a new one and tearing my team a new one. This blazing strike, and what else does he have? While fighting the mob, you take constant damage from Radiant Flame. Yeah, so Radiant Flame, as you can see, the dot. I mean, this guy's got aura. He's constantly doing damage to you. So here, I think, again, I'm thinking of the timer, my CDs and stuff. Yeah. And I go and pull these, which I don't think was a bad play, because these don't actually die to these packs. They just died because that guy just has insane aura and he just ticks him down, and the healer had nothing. But I was thinking, like, mate, we need to pull these in, because this boss is going to take a while. I use Metamorphosis for this blazing strike. Thankfully dies. The healer's got cooldowns coming up now. I've got chains, I've got silence, so yeah, we should be able to clear up this pack and fight the boss as soon as possible. We've got no lust for the boss, so we need to lock in here and now. This boss for you really doesn't really do anything. I don't think she has any tank busters whatsoever. It's mostly just get behind him, you know, turn away when she does the blinding light. So I end up pulling these footmen into it. In reality, I probably should have just, you know, killed them here, but, like, I mean, they're not really insane. Obviously, they do explode when they die, so. But apparently, if you CC them as soon as they're about to die, the explosion doesn't go off, which is interesting to note. So keep that in mind. So there would have been a good time to, like, CC them all, but we end up, like, staggering each one, so that the damage that goes out isn't too crazy. With this blinding light, I've noticed, like, I mostly like just to walk through the boss instead of turning around. I don't know why. It's just something to do with the camera, I guess. It just feels more natural to me to walk through the boss, unless he's, like, obviously like puddle there or something. Like, I'll turn around. Like I say, at this point, you just want to be trying to get as many Reaver's Mark on her as possible, using your Fell Devastation, your Immolation Aura, hitting her as much as possible, trying to get her to the second phase. And when the second phase comes, I'll try and give you a tip what you can do. My use of it wasn't great in this dungeon, but it is a very nifty trick that you can use on Demon Hunter, and there's probably other people that can use it too, like maybe Priest can soothe the pack. I'm not 100% sure, but for now we're just dodging, trying to use as much space as we can. Like, I'm trying to make it so that we go up the stairs, so we immediately go up. Like, it's on 55% right now. I'm just trying to leave it here, so when part 2 comes, we have an easy route to get to the boss. I probably should have, like, moved it over, but like I say, most of our team are melee. Like, our monk is melee, rogue is melee, paladin's melee. The only range that we have is hunter, so it's best, like, 4 versus 1, so keep it in that position. So going back there, actually, that's something I need to point out. So before she jumps away, I will use my throwing glaive. This is because I want to be able to use the hunt going up there, and if I save this Reaver's glaive, it will just overlap over my the hunt. So I go in, I random strike, glaive flurry into another. Oh, there's the tip. So using the misery on the pack that's coming up. But like I say, like, start of these bosses, you want to get as many marks, Reaver's Mark, as possible. So I'm constantly throwing my glaive and constantly doing my my combo in order to get a mark up. So at the moment, I've got 2 stacks in her. I'm about to make a 3rd stack. Oh no, it's just 2 stacks. Yeah, just making sure you have as much damage on her as possible, so you can kill her as quick as possible. We've got a minute left. No lust. People are pumping. It's getting close. I'm pretty sure we can time it. All we got to do is not get hit by a blinding light, and we're literally just Bing chilling. Bing chilling. Like I said, there's no real like scary bits for you, but I still put meta and brand and all that stuff, just in case like something dodgy does happen and I need to survive. Like I know, like I'll be in meta now for like pretty much the rest of the fight. If not, I'll probably just pop brand towards the end of it. But yeah, that was the 11 Priory or Priory, however you want to say it. Leave in the comments how you say it. Priory, who knows? I'm just gonna say Priory because I'm one of the cool kids. Hell yeah. We actually ended up getting Keystone Hero there. I'm apologizing now, saying I'm so sorry, guys. For some reason, it says I'm on 2,512, which kind of makes no sense because I was on 2,500 and I got plus 45 for this, so I should be on, what, 2,545, but I'm not. We ended up getting a chest piece too, which is huge. Hopefully next week, if I don't get anything in my vault, I can catalyst this into a 4 set, which will be bing nice. Big nice. But yeah, if you like the content, subscribe. I hope I was informative in this. There's a lot to cover in such a short period of time, even though it's like 31 minutes long. I don't know why, but I just get like sidetracked and start yapping about random stuff. Hopefully you learned some stuff. Just remember that what I said about the mobs and their main abilities that you need to look out for. In terms of rotations, pretty much you want to use brand every time you pull a pack. Be in metamorphosis as much as you can. With the new 2 sets and the 4 sets, you kind of like get random procs of it, so it's pretty nice. But outside of that, you know, use your brands. Make sure you have demon spikes up constantly, friddle the fight, all that type of stuff. You know, lock in, guys. This is a really good tank. So yeah, enjoy it.